tiny starts create big momentum. This is Mayur Bardolia, a success coach from North Star Angel Coaching and Spiritual Solutions. In this video, you're going to find the solutions to the real problem many of us face. We want to start important tasks, but somehow something in us delays, hesitates, or freezes, and the task keeps growing in our mind until it begins to feel heavier than the work itself. So let's begin with a simple thought. You know that feeling when a task, many times an important task, sits on your to-do list for days and somehow gets heavier each time you look at it. You want to start, but the mind tells you that you need the perfect mood or the perfect amount of time or the right time, and that perfect moment never appears. In this video, you will learn a gentle method to break that freeze and begin without stress. You will discover how small starts create quick momentum and make the work feel lighter. So let's talk about the problem. Imagine standing in front of a giant wooden door that hasn't moved in for years. Nobody opened that door for years. You press in the middle and nothing happens. It feels stuck. Then someone asks you to apply the light pressure near the hinge, and you try again, and the door shifts just a little. Not much, but enough to prove that it can move. This is how many of our tasks behave. We push in the wrong place. We try to start with the entire project at once, and we feel resistance because the mind shows every step at once. And before we take the first action, we already feel tired. The problem is not ability. The problem is the size of the first step. A big start scares the mind. So let's look at the simple solution. Start small. Start tiny. Start in a way that feels doable rather than dramatic. Start in a way that it feels friendly rather than overwhelming. Your mind loves to turn a task into mountain. It shows you every possible challenge and every hour of work at once. But a tiny start can interrupt the story. A tiny start can interrupt that pattern. Just 5 minutes. Allow yourself to work for 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. No more than that. But just start. Start with one thing, just one component or a part of the project. You can make it perfect later on. But one tiny yes that gets you moving. Think of it like turning a stiff, rusty water tap. The first twist feels tough because the tap hasn't moved for a long time. But once it moves even a little, the rest becomes easier. Your task works the same way. Begin for 5 minutes and momentum comes. You may continue for 15 minutes or 30. It's your choice. And even if you stop, you still win because you just started. It's better than not starting at all. You feel a sense of relief and many times a sense of accomplishment and energy. The key is to plan your tiny steps ahead of time. For example, tell yourself, when I reach home, I will open the document. After breakfast, I will put on my workout clothes. Before going to bed, I will read 2 pages of the book. When I reach office, I will do the XYZ task first, no matter what. Keep the starting action small enough that saying no feels a little silly. You're not trying to complete the whole task. You are nudging yourself gently into motion. And slowly, something powerful begins to change. Your identity shifts. You become someone who starts easily. You stop fearing the first step because the beginning no longer feels heavy. This new identity matters more than any short burst of willpower. It builds consistency and confidence. It builds trust in yourself too. It creates momentum that lasts. Before we move into the action step, let's summarize what we covered so far. The hardest part of the most task is the beginning. The mind exaggerates the task and creates resistance. Tiny steps remove pressure and resistance, and is giving you an easy way to begin. And these small actions create momentum and slowly builds a new identity as someone who always starts. This matters more than trying to push through with willpower alone. And now let's turn this into practical steps you can use today. Number one, choose one task and shrink it into a tiny, first 5-minute version. Make it simple enough to start with no hesitation. It should be too small to begin with. Next, link your tiny action to a specific moment in your day. After breakfast, first thing in the morning, or as soon as you reach the office. Maybe right after the lunch. Maybe before you get home. Maybe before you go to bed. Create a routine so that you don't have to remember it consciously. And it becomes your habit. You start doing it effortlessly because you have already overcome the biggest obstacle, the first step. Then give yourself permission to stop after the small step. If momentum shows up, great, follow it, continue. But if it does not, you still made progress. After 1 week, notice the shift in your behavior and the new pattern. You begin tasks sooner and with much less resistance. And remember to celebrate tiny wins. Small starts build big habits. When you work this way, the giant wooden door finally moves. Not because you pushed harder, but because you learned the art of beginning gently. Once you know how to move the door, you can open anything that stands in your way. If you need any help in doing it, or if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Share your feedback with me. If you benefit from this video, recording, or a lecture, please recommend it to someone who can benefit from it. Share it far and wide. This is Mayur Bardolia, a success coach from North Star Angel Coaching and Spiritual Solutions. If you wish to book a coaching session and workshop or invite me as a speaker, reach out to me at contact@northstarangel.com. Have a nice day.